What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Tay, and today we actually got my wide receiver three of this draft. It is no longer Ted McMillan, Jayden Higgins, 6'4", 220. Everything that they say T Mac should be is Jayden Higgins. This is the actual Drake London comp. Pros I have for him has had some big games. He's fast, pops off the screen, good route runner, great mobility for his size, great contested catch, good at adjusting his body, can make a guy miss. Actually creates a lot of PIs. Some cons, he gotta learn where to be on certain routes, on how to learn them a certain way. Not the best at making the first guy miss, but this guy that I come to BTJ, or like I said earlier, Drake London. So let's get into the film. First, we just have his deep threats and his red zone ability. If this is another red zone target like Trey Harris. Now, he's very similar to Trey Harris in terms of like their play styles, but Trey Harris is just a little more physical. Um, but that doesn't stop Jayden Higgins from in the red zone making great catches. As you can see, catching over the body of a defender, like it really doesn't matter. This is why I was saying like he adjusts his body well. It really doesn't matter where the ball is at, as long as you throw it up in his vicinity. He's gonna 9 times out of 10 come down with it. This is when he could have come down with, but you can see the inside release and just the speed. He has football speed because that looks like a 4.3 speed, even though he ran a 4.4 at the combine. I think a 4.44 I want to say. Um, but a lot of his passes are like this, which we're gonna get into over the middle. That was one for a touchdown in the red zone. Like I said, these are just deep threats and red zone plays. Really, really good. Really, really good red zone plays. Plays like this. Like I said, just throw it up in the vicinity. He's gonna adjust his body and make the catch. Get his feet in. That's 2 feet right there. NFL style. Great way of adjusting body. Great way of shielding the defender off. It won't surprise me at all if he had some basketball experience in his background. I'm not sure, if he was a two-sport athlete in college. In high school, but as you can see, he knows very well how to just box out a defender and use his body to shield the defender from even having a chance at getting to the ball and coming down with the catch. Here you see a little stutter step and go. Is able to have enough speed to get away from the defender. This is a play where you can see where he very simple. It's very subtle where he just does that little step and then that outside, and as you can see the corner is like on his toes now to create that separation to get a touchdown. A very good route runner. Very good route runner. Like I would say advanced route runner and one of the best in this class. Definitely better than Trey Harris. Um, I don't know if he's better a route runner than Travis Hunter, but on tape he is a better route runner. Travis Hunter was asked to do a lot of routes, like how Jayden Higgins was asked to do a lot of routes, and but Jayden Higgins just has nuance in his routes, just like this. A simple slant, but it's the way you do it. The 1-2 step, the stagger step, outside, coming inside. Now he has 3-4 yards of space where this is just an open pass for the quarterback. Very, 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 very quarterback friendly wide receiver. Another play where he's able to adjust his body to the ball, even with the defender hanging on him. Actually doesn't get called for PI. But like I said, we're actually going to talk about PIs later because if you watch my first episode of Travis Hunter created a lot of PIs as well, but Travis Hunter was more of IQ, the way he created PIs. Like he positioned his body. He basically knew the corner was playing catch up, and so he just kind of like sell it, kind of like a LeBron. You know how LeBron sell fouls. He would kind of like sell it, but it would still be a PI. But Jayden Higgins, though, he gets his PIs is just naturally. Like he doesn't even really do nothing. It's just that defenders playing catch up and tries to overcompensate a lot and think they're close, and it just becomes a PI. So this is some catching the traffic and over the middle. Like I say, he does this a lot, and this was 80% of his game in college, and I think it'll be a lot of his game in the NFL as well because he's tough. Like I say, he's not as physical as Trey Harris, And when he catches these balls, he doesn't, try to, truck you over. He gets tackled a lot. Unless he can juke you or run past you or run around you, he's not going to, like, just truck you over or stiff arm you. But he's very tough going across the middle of the field, a big target. And this is what a lot of people do in the NFL. Offenses like the 49ers with Brock Purdy. He would be perfect in that system. I'm not sure that they would draft him at 11. They have bigger needs, but a team like the Cowboys should look at him at 12. I'm not a Cowboys fan, and it's just like every time we talk about these receivers, I talk about them, but that's just because I'm unbiased. I'm actually a Giants fan, but I'm very unbiased when it comes to the draft and where players should go. I think Cowboys should definitely consider him at 12. I'm trying to just think of the draft in my head. I definitely think he's top 15 pick worthy. Will he go top 15? Probably not. More than likely, no. But I think he should definitely go first round, and I think he actually will go first round. I think you'll be hearing a lot more buzz about Jayden Higgins as the draft gets closer and closer. Like I said, this is my wide receiver 3. Tevin Miller is no longer my wide receiver 3. He is my wide receiver 4. And so I have Travis Hunter at 1, Trey Harris at 2, Jayden Higgins at 3, Tevin Miller at 4. And I do have a 5, but before I get to my 5, I want to look at some more wide receivers just to make sure. I looked at 10 receivers, so I'm pretty sure that my 5 is locked in because I don't think a receiver between 11 and 15 could be at 5, but you never know. And actually, his teammate, Jayden Higgins' teammate, Jalen Noel, is really, really good. Um, just watching him this past season, I can't wait to get into the film on Jalen Noel, see where he ranks up. But I think I might even do a top 10 receivers with these videos, but I want to do one more video, wide receiver 5, and then I'm going to go to the running backs. I really like the running backs. I looked at 5 of them, so I'm looking at 5 more before I come out with a top 5. But I will come out with 1 to 4 very shortly after I post. But just going back to Jayden Higgins, as you can see, he's able to stop on a dime. That's something that I also noticed as well. Able to stop on a dime. This is, yards at the catch. Caught a screen, took for about 15 yards. He's very comfortable maneuvering in the middle of the field. That's where he lives at. That's his bread and butter, the middle of the field. They told him to run slants, skinny posts, goes, and hitches. That's what they told him to run, but he ran every route with nuance. And I'm sorry if I, kind of sound like my nose is stuffy. It's because it is. Allergy season is killing me, man. But powering through this to get these videos out. Like I said, he's not gonna lay the boom, but doesn't have an injury problem. Doesn't really affect his game. He's able to take hits. You know how big he is, and like I said, the way he created PIs was not even on, like, as you can see, like, he didn't do that on purpose. Like, he just ran his route. It just was a PI, because the defender's playing catch up, and the way he is, people think that they could just pull him down, and you can't. Like, the refs are going to call that. So it actually plays, to him. And these are a lot of PIs, during the season that he was able to get, because if you're on him, he's a big target. He's not going to go down easy. So if you playing catch up and you want him to get down, you're going to have to, hold him or pass interference. So I just think that's an underrated part of his game that a lot of people may not talk about, if anybody talk about. But you can expect Jayden Higgins next year to get a lot of PIs, and that's positive yards, regardless. Just send him on a deep ball 5 times. He's probably going to catch it 3 to 4 times and probably going to get a PI 1 or 2 times. You see what I'm saying? So that's a very underrated part of his game that just comes, natural. As you can see here in the red zone, if you throw it up, it's a low percentage of it being an interception. It's either going to be a catch or a PI. Next, we're getting into his yak, and also how he's a safety blanket for the quarterback. I mean, anytime the quarterback, as you can see, just stops on a dime, but able to adjust his body, stops on the dime right here, but still able to adjust his body. He was expecting the ball to the outside, but it went to the inside. Get some yards after the catch here. Like I said, if he can't run past you or juke you, he's pretty good in the phone booth, but he's not gonna truck you. But when he does get past you, I mean, he can go. He got some speed to him. Like I said, you see this in the phone booth, able to juke two players right there. Very very good at doing that. And that's kind of what Trey Harris does a lot. That's why I have Trey Harris two, slightly above Jayden Higgins, because he's basically a Jayden Higgins that's more physical and can juke you and can chuck you and is looking for more yards every play. Not as good as a route runner as Jayden Higgins, but does everything else just as well. Also being a deep threat. I would say Jayden Higgins is slightly better in the red zone, maybe even slightly better as a deep threat, but definitely better as a route runner. Has good hands, but anytime the quarterback is going out of the pocket like that, or is in trouble, all you have to do is just throw it up to Jayden Higgins. All you have to do is just find nine and throw it to him, and he's definitely going to be there for you. That's not really a play where the quarterback had to escape, but as you can see the plays before then, when the quarterback escaped, he's a safety blanket. Tough catch here in the bowl game. This was their last game of the season going against Arizona State. Just able to make a good sideline catch, a good route. Very good film from him. Like I said, anybody, especially in the 20s, that's looking for a receiver, a team like the Packers, a team like the Chargers, you have Lat McConkey there. Get a bigger guy, like a Keenan Allen that can run routes. And yeah, make sure you follow the TikTok, follow my IG. Stay tuned. Like I said, wide receiver 5 is coming up probably in these next couple of days. Then after that, we're doing running backs. After that, tight ends. And yeah, stay tuned for more content on the way as the draft gets closer and closer. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we out.